I like Snoop Dogg.
I like Snoopy too.
What was Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre? Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Jamie, how the heck are you doing, man?
I'm back to being fantastically fantastic.
Amazingly amazing.
Amazingly amazing. You know, it's all about... I feel like I'm like blessed with plenty of ponies, rainbows, and unicorns, man.
You sound like it.
And
I think it's the hat.
And narwhals. I think the hats.
Narwhals.
Yeah, I love narwhals. They're like the real unicorns, man.
Like,
the hat is kind of throwing me back because it's from the 90s.
Throwing you back to
it's
the 90s?
It's throwing me back to my youth, man. Back when grunge was cool and I was wearing flannel.
I like the hat. It's different.
Yeah, I wore this for like a year straight, man.
I'm on my third Georgia Bulldog t-shirt since we've been recording on video. You wear something completely different every time. This time you've got a ski hat on from the 90s from
Peru.
Lollapalooza. You wore it to Lollapalooza.
Oh yeah, I wore it. You can still smell the weed in there, man.
You haven't washed it since 96?
Probably not. It was in a plastic container put away in the garage.
So you found it this weekend. That's why you're wearing it?
I was working on the car, moving some stuff around, and I was like, whoa. It looks like a 90s time capsule. So I opened it up and, relived the 90s. I cranked up some Stone Temple Pilots, some Nirvana.
Worked on your car.
Worked on the car.
What's wrong with the car now?
Nothing. Because I fixed it.
Well,
oh, you mean like before?
Yeah, something was wrong with the car.
Spark plug tubes were, the seals went bad, and I had oil slinking out of the heads. I looked under the car and saw a little automotive doo-doo, and I said, that's not good. I don't need diarrhea coming out of the engine bay. So I fixed it.
You're going to do the Spicoli accent the whole episode?
I don't know, man. It's kind of, I don't know. My brain's warmed up with the 90s again. I'm feeling a little Nirvana going on in the head.
So you're going to talk like this the whole episode?
Without any weed.
It's amazing.
Whoa. It's like a time warp, man. Like Bill and Ted could be popping out of, hey, Keanu, what's up, dude?
You're crazy, man. Anybody who's watching this can see. You can see it. Like, he's just looking around.
It's my youth, man. I'm going back to my youth.
20 years ago.
20? What was that? Like 30?
30 years ago.
30 years ago, man.
I guess 96, right?
Well,
30 years ago.
No, like, probably like 93, 94.
Yeah. Must still be 30 years ago.
About where I peaked, I guess.
It's been downhill since 93.
Maybe that's a bad editorial there.
Is your other mic
on my life? I don't know, man.
Just making sure.
It's blue lighting me, man.
As long as it's blue light.
I think we're good.
All right. Just making sure. I think we've...
Blue lights matter, man.
I think we've chased your stoner accent down the drain. We can now move on.
All right, let's move on to COTA. Yeah, COTA, though, was kind of like... That was a good album from Led Zeppelin.
Hey.
Way before my time.
I went to a concert last week.
And what was it, man?
Anybody who follows our YouTube channel probably saw some of the shorts I posted from the Stray Kids concert I took my daughter to. Stray Kids are a Korean pop band. It's K-pop music.
Never heard of them.
I had never heard of K-pop music until maybe 6 months ago. My preacher, his daughter, wanted to go to a K-pop concert, so he actually took his daughter to L.A. to see BTS, I think is the name of the group.
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? Like the Beatles of K-pop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they went to that concert, and then I took my daughter last Thursday night to the Stray Kids concert in Atlanta, and You know, I'll be honest, I had a great time. It is, I had never even, I didn't, it's not like I listened to the music pre-concert, right? Like I turned it on Spotify one day, maybe last week, and asked my daughter what their big hits were, and she showed me. So I kind of checked them out for a couple seconds, but I didn't really do a lot of digging because I listen to a lot of rock. But this band, Stray Kids, they don't speak English, but some parts of their songs are in English. But these guys all rap, all four of them, like speed rap in Korean, and it's got like a pop, like a pit bull beat to it. I thought it was neat, man. It's a big light show, like a Pink Floyd show would be, maybe. So, I mean,
you know, Dad's got to do what Dad's got to do, right?
I'd do it
again. Well, you enjoyed it.
I'd do it again. If she wanted to go to another, I probably wouldn't go on my own.
Isn't it funny how, as you grow older and have children, your children's happiness become your priority over your own?
Oh, no doubt.
And that you find happiness through their happiness?
I had a blast. I really did have fun. And she had a blast, and which made it even more fun. So it could have been worse. Like, that's what I kept thinking. Like, so there was a dad in front of me with his Kansas City Chiefs gear on. I'm talking hat, shirt, pants, shoes matched. Full Kansas City gear the whole time of the show. I guess
Super Bowl is really good for him then.
Yeah, it's probably why it was
changed his life.
He was so sad at that concert.
Oh, he was sad?
Dude, he stared at his phone the whole time watching the basketball game that was on from the NCAA tournament. Then, when that was over, he didn't even bob his head or do any kind of movement. Like, his daughter one time was like, "Stand up, Dad, stand up." Because at one point, they're like, "Raise your hand if you, or scream if you've seen us more than once." And then, like, scream if this is your first show. And then they're like, "Scream if you're just a parent driving your kids."
Was he, like, down below you?
He didn't even scream then. Yeah, he was one row ahead of me.
Did you, like, go to him and go, "Boom! Better Dad"?
No, man.
I'm better Dad!
He missed out on an opportunity. Like, you're there with your daughter. Take advantage of it. Even if you don't like the music. Just
dance with her. Shoot, why not?
Make her day better.
Right.
That's your only job.
You're there for her anyway. Make it a better day.
You brought her because she wanted to go. Why not dude, I walked around in a light pink or maybe it was light purple Stray Kids shirt the whole time. My daughter wanted this shirt, so I just put it on and I wore it. And then I gave it to her when we got home. I don't want it no more. But I wore it all night, and it didn't matter what I wore. She had fun. And
so I give Kansas
do
City
whatever I had to do to make sure she had fun.
I give Mr. Chief, out of a 1 to 10, I'll give him a 6 because he did it.
Yeah, he was there.
And he must have loved his daughter to do it. But because he didn't dance and improve the time with his daughter, I mean, he's staying at a 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with... If this was our hotel review segment, I think I'd give him a 1 star because they won't let me give him 0.
Yeah, don't fall down the 0.
But, I mean, another funny thing that happened, this lady, she was my age. She sat down next to us with her daughter, and she leaned over. She goes, "Can you believe all these idiots don't know how to find their seat?" And I was like, yeah, because everybody come up and ask her, what row is this? Like, they didn't know to look on the seat to find the row number, row F. They weren't looking at the seat. They're just asking us. So she told her daughter, she said, "See, honey, this is how you find your seat. You look at your ticket and you look at these numbers." And then she showed her where to look. She's like, "I'm going to teach my kid." Dude, it was maybe 45 minutes later. These two people walk up and they look at her and they go, "Ma'am, I think you're in our seat." No kidding. She looked at her ticket. She was in the wrong section. She was one section over. And it was just comical because she made a big deal out of telling her daughter, "Don't be an idiot and not find your seats." And then she was in the wrong seat. I mean, we had to get there. So they have these light stick things that go with the music of the show. They only sell 600 of them at the show. There's I think it was 25,000 people for both nights.
Why wouldn't they bring 26,000 so that everybody can have them?
Well, they have 50,000 total. So it's 2 nights, 25,000 each. They had 600 the first night, 600 the second night. We got in line 3 hours before the door opened, so we can make sure we were one of those people that got one of the 600 light sticks. We got one though. So my daughter got everything she wanted. Had a great night, had a great time. If you want to hear more about the K-pop concert and you have kids, ask them. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of them might listen to K-pop
They're
music.
into it.
Maybe.
Probably.
I mean, they might be.
My kids were listening.
Some of our listeners might like K-pop. We don't know.
Hey, you know what? Be yourself, man. You be you.
There were some interesting people at the show. They all dress up like a lot of people dress up like characters. So they got like the hat with the big cat ears and stuff.
What are they, Pokemon people?
It looks like it.
Huh.
But when we first walked up, I was kind of critical. I'm like, man, all these people are dressed up like crazy people. But then I thought about it.
Well, then you put the shirt on, so then you were one of them.
Well, then I thought about it. I used to go to Ozfest all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people at Ozfest back then was goth or metal. We dressed crazy too. A lot of black, wide-legged Jinko jeans, or, we dressed like the part. So there's no difference between us dressing like metal.
Studded dog collar.
I never had a dog collar. I had a 4-row studded belt. It had 4 rows of studs all the way around. It's white. And it had
I had the wristband
studs
with the studs.
I don't think I had a wristband. I had the belt. I couldn't wear a chain on my wallet at school because there was no chains allowed at school. So I used the white phone cord, the slinky
So
one.
you couldn't ride a motorcycle to school because there was a chain on it?
I guess you got a point. I think I could have won
What if your car had a timing chain instead of a
I could have won
timing
that
belt?
argument. I argue with my teachers all the time.
I would
Believe
argue
it or
with them.
not. So, not a lot of news last week from NASCAR, but we did find out that Hendricks, their appeal is going to be March 29th, Wednesday of this week, to appeal the louver penalty they got. Colleague, their appeal will be heard on April 5th, and Denny Hamlin's appeal, that will be heard on April 6th. On Denny's show, I think we mentioned it on here last week that we hadn't listened to Denny's show yet. But when we did go back and listen, he didn't really have a whole lot to say about the appeals process or what had happened because he hasn't went through the appeal yet, and he didn't want to really get into it until the whole case was closed. So, like I said, not a big news week since the show was recorded. Not a lot's happened other than we did do some racing this weekend.
I enjoyed the racing.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good race myself. I actually was quite surprised. So they had a double header there on Saturday with the truck race and the Xfinity race. Honestly, I thought the truck race was kind of uneventful. Zane Smith won. He had about an 8-second lead over second place.
He was definitely top of the breed, man.
Oh, it was a dominating performance, to say the least. Then you had Saturday, or then right after that, you had the Xfinity race. AJ Allmendinger once again proved why he should be in the Xfinity Series. He dominated. I mean, he absolutely dominated that race on Saturday. Nobody had anything for him.
No, I mean, for some reason, that Xfinity package fits him.
It's the length of the race.
I mean,
It's the car, the style of driving.
the horsepower.
Yeah,
It's all of it.
It all fits him and his driving style.
Because it doesn't seem to be working out for him in Cup. He looks like he used to in Cup.
Yes, unfortunately. Tyler Reddick puts on a clinic in a pretty exciting Cup race at COTA. Honestly, I thought it was more exciting than last year's COTA race. And
Oh, by far.
now Tyler Reddick can say he's got his victory.
So if you go, let's just rate it right now. Let's get out of the way. 1 to 10. Where you at? 1 being they suck. 10 being awesome sauce.
Probably going to go with a 7. I'm not a...
Wow, 7.
I'm torn between 7 and 8, to be honest with you.
See, I'm at an 8, and I'm usually more critical of the race than you are.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great race, actually. I guess.
I mean, there was a battle for the lead all the time.
Not just that, the way the strategy played out, the different strategies had.
Yeah, Reddick had an extra pit stop.
Yeah, you'd have groups. Well, Reddick was just fast. Reddick was dog.
Yeah,
he was just way faster than everybody else. But it was his driving. Like I heard Denny say that he tried to run the Reddick line and almost spun out.
Yeah, he was running 3 seconds slower.
Yeah, so it's the line he run, and I don't know if it's the heat, but a lot of drivers complained after the race was over about being worn out and how tired they were. So
a lot of them said their little cool suits weren't working.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of issues with cool suits. Problem with that, so I remember last season hearing people say, "Oh, my cool suit broke." And I'm like, "Okay, toughen it up, Buttercup. You have to be out there sweating now."
But it was only like 80 in Austin.
But you know what the problem is? Those cool suits, when they're not working, they become a sweatsuit. Like they just hold the heat in, so your body can't breathe without the cool suit being on. Maybe they should reinvent the cool suit. Maybe they should build one that would allow it to still breathe if it's not working. But like you said, it's 80 in Austin this weekend, so
it's mild. But they've always complained about the heat the car produces, and those guys from the other racing series, they were like dead. They're like, that Buttercup or whatever his name was.
Button. Yeah.
He was just said he thought about getting out of his car twice and just quitting.
And no doubt. I'll give a shout out to Brendan Hunt from the show Ted Lasso, who did an amazing job with the command to start your engines.
You think I could do what he did?
But don't.
You don't think I could get that high and hold it that long?
I
probably shouldn't because we just started the show.
I know you could, but I'm asking you not.
I need my voice anyway.
I don't want to lose my hearing at the beginning. We're 17 minutes into the show. I'd hate to go deaf because you're screaming.
Well, you deaf and me with no voice, I could.
That'd be a crappy show. We'd be in trouble. But he did a good job. I mean, it was an energetic intro.
Caught my attention.
And that doesn't happen. My whole point is that doesn't happen every week. Like most of the time, it's a corporate sponsor, their VP of sales or their VP of inventory or.
Thank you for.
It's like
I'm president of Diaper Rash. Thank you for using our Diaper Rash wipes that do not chafe your crotch or your butt cheeks.
Drivers,
perfectly
start your motors.
They're used perfectly for the round, chubby butts of your babies. Now, gentlemen, start your engines.
I don't say gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. Drivers!
Why don't they say gentlemen again?
They could in NASCAR. We don't have a female driver.
That's what I'm saying. I want to hear somebody throw back.
Drivers!
Do you remember, what's the best command to start your engines you can remember? All right, so don't forget, sometimes crap, it does happen. And sometimes you need a plumber to fix it. In that case, we would call Danny Carden Plumbing, the official plumber of the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. The guys you call when crap happens.
Wow, it was pretty much the one we heard Sunday.
Really?
Pretty good.
I think Adam Sandler and them did a good job.
Oh, yeah, Adam Sandler did.
My favorite will always be Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right.
Oh, yeah.
That will always be my favorite command to start your engines, just because I'm a Dazed and Confused fan.
I am too, you can tell.
Yes, Coley. So, NASCAR took the caution flags out of the stage breaks for this race. This was the first race since the inception of stage breaks. This is the first race without them since then. What'd you think?
I was a little confused. I think, and I might be completely wrong. So you get to the starting area, right? The Geico starting area?
Yep.
And someone is ahead of you. Let's say you're P1, right?
Uh-huh.
They pass you. They're getting the points. Because they're getting the points from the last stage. Am I right? Or am I just confused? Was that a sneaky way to get some points?
Points are issued as you cross the line.
Right. So, if, let's say, I'm P4, I duck and tuck, get up and around, and end up being first before we get there. Of course, you're not supposed to leave your position in the starting grid.
You're talking about the restart after stage 1?
Yeah.
So they raced from the restart zone to
the start finish.
I'm cool with that. I think it's neat. But yeah,
I don't think it was explained too well to me.
I don't either, because they were talking about it on Sirius XM this morning, and they were saying that it probably wasn't explained very well because there was nothing, nobody tried to pull anything, right? So as soon as the driver went, if the guy on the outside passed him, he would have got credited for first, because they set the top 10 based on how they called the caution. They started in the restart zone, and they basically raced 5 feet. And how they crossed is how they delivered the points. I think games, you'll see a change to that. I don't know that NASCAR
think NASCAR will change it, or do you think
I don't think
drivers will realize there's a benefit to
I don't think NASCAR had that planned. I don't think they had a rule in place for that, and then it happened, so they thought on the fly. I'm good with what they did. It didn't change the race. They didn't run an extra caution lap. They did great with cautions.
No, to be honest with you,
it's a 4-mile track. It should have taken 30 minutes to do a caution.
I think this race, is the best one we've seen so far this year.
As far as
racing
or NASCAR control goes.
Well, let's just go to the end. I got a little worried at the end that I thought they were going to steal it from Reddick. I really did.
No doubt.
I thought someone was going to punt them.
This would have been a completely different show.
Someone else was going to win, and by the end of the race, I thought Reddick should win.
Well, I agree. But talking about removing the stage breaks, the cautions,
I think it sped the race up. That's for dang sure.
It definitely sped the race up, but you had natural cautions occur because of strategy. You had strategy play out for the first time in years.
You had tire wear off where people stayed out.
Multiple strategies.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody wasn't on the same strategy because everybody knew when the same cautions were going to happen. You had Reddick have an extra pit stop and still somehow blew by those guys, but it changed it up by
what about our guy
having to brake
in the 7 car? We've always said we liked the guy. We met him last year and said we liked him personally. And he was a back marker. Except for a few races, he would show up to the top 10. Corey LaJoie is on fire, dude.
Y'all can tell Jamie don't read the show notes.
Well, yeah, I read the other show notes.
Yeah, Corey LaJoie is doing great. He's killing it. I don't know if this is his best, but I'm pretty sure this is probably his best road course finish.
Well,
but I think it's the car also.
Well, didn't I hear?
I mean, Jordan Taylor ran well. Jenson Button ran well. I mean, those guys are coming in without any experience in these cars and running decent.
Wasn't this Jordan Taylor's first time in a Cup car? Ever.
It was Button's too. So I think Corey should be running better. I think this car runs better on road courses. Coming into this race, everybody was really worried that we weren't going to have any cautions, and your leader was going to be like in the truck race, 8 seconds ahead of everybody.
Who really thought that, though?
Break. A lot of people.
Turn one, good night almighty. There's no way you're not going to get cautions.
The drivers were saying Friday during their press meeting, I hope everybody's expectations are dialed back some because they wanted no stage breaks. Well, this could be drawn out. This could be a really short race.
That stupid turn, 5 in, 2 out. I mean,
that's only on a restart, though. If you only have one restart, which is the start of the race.
I don't know. You had people losing their crap
We had
Bubba's car failure caused a caution, not at a start.
You had dirt all over the track in some spots. I mean, we had a lot of debris cautions. So the whole race actually had a total of 8 cautions for 17 laps. Like I said earlier, NASCAR did a great job of speeding these cautions up. It didn't, like Road America's, that was like a 30-minute caution break. So this could have been a 30-minute caution break too. But they did a good job. They had the choose rule. They got them lined up. They didn't go around, choose, come around again, and then restart. They chose, lined them up, and went. I mean, most cautions were like 2 to 3 laps long. So we had 8 cautions for a total of 17 laps. That's unheard of. 8 cautions at Atlanta is what, 40, 50 laps?
Yeah.
So you had a wreck on lap 1, basically. I didn't really see. I think somebody else got into Ty Dillon, but I give Ty Dillon credit because he took out Jimmy Johnson.
Well,
and that's what Ty does.
If you're going to take someone out, let's take out 7 times.
Yeah, on lap 1. Let's not even let 7 times get started.
7 times just sitting there like at the back of the pack going, oh, I'm just going to sit back here and then I'm going to gun it and just take over. And then out of the blue, he's spinning.
I mean, they tried to get Jimmy's car fixed, but they ran out of time. So,
well, they should have black flagged Ty and made him work on the pit stop for Jimmy.
Well, Ty was done. That was it for him. That ended his day.
Ty woke up done, like 6 hours before the
Ty was
race.
Done in Daytona.
Ty does not. I'm just gonna say it. I love his grandfather. I love the team they got and they've built for years, but Ty ain't got it. He doesn't have it.
Do you think Ty doesn't have it? Or do you think Ty just doesn't have the equipment to have it?
I think his grandfather would take care of him if he had it.
I do too.
So
I always thought Ty was the better Dillon brother as far as talent went, and maybe he is. I mean, we've never seen Ty in good equipment, and I think Austin's in good equipment. But then again, it's hard for me to believe Pop's not paying for this Spire deal too.
I think he is.
And if that's the case, why isn't Ty running better? Because he's probably in RCR equipment.
Because he's not as good.
Second caution came out when Kyle Larson got spun out by Denny Hamlin. Looked like Denny and Bubba both had issues with Larson because they both kind of made contact with him. Denny was finally able to get him spun out. Third caution was from debris. Fourth caution.
Was it just me, or Larson looked like he was kind of out of control?
I think I told you yesterday, like, I had Larson in our fantasy picks this week, and I was like, dude, I'm getting screwed here. Like, Larson is killing me. He spun out a couple times. He bounced off a couple people, broke a toe link. I mean, he caused like 2 cautions, I think. If it could go wrong, it went wrong. He got caught speeding on pit road one time. He probably missed the S's.
He looked like he was playing bumper cars, man.
Looked like he didn't know what he was doing.
It did.
And, I mean, I went with him.
And I'm sorry, my opinion of him is he's probably the best driver out on the track, but he didn't look like it yesterday.
I chose Larson over Byron in my fantasy picks last week, and I was regretting that when Byron finished 5th. Larson finished 14th, which didn't kill me, but it didn't help me any. If I would have picked Byron over Larson, that would have really helped me on the points. Really would have screwed you, but it would have helped me.
Well, I didn't do too well, so.
Yeah, you had a rough week. So we had third caution from debris. Fourth caution was Keselowski stopping on the track.
What do you think he was doing? There's a hands-free law in Texas, and he stopped at Tex?
Well, right after that, you had Ross Chastain stopped on the track. I think they wanted to be stopped, so the caution came out. Then you had the rest of the cautions came out from the debris, restart debris, which was because they played green-white checkers and they played bumper cars going down into turn 1. I mean, they were like 6 or 7 wide. That was...
I loved it, man.
You like the beating and banging in turn 1?
I do. I think it's awesome.
The dive bombs?
Uh-huh. I love the 5, 6, 7 go in and only 2 can make it out.
Do you really?
I do. I didn't know
if you were being smart.
No, I'm serious. No, I was giggling the whole race. Even when it's 2 or 3 cars at a time, I was laughing, dude.
I think it's insane.
I love it.
I don't know that I hate it, to be honest with you. Like the turn one dive bombs, you see them at Indy. But I don't remember getting this with Watkins Glen and Sonoma when we only had 2 road courses a year.
You kind of get it Watkins Glen, the turn one coming down the hill, just past pit row. And
Watkins Glen, we've had some pretty bad wrecks too.
I mean, look, Larson stole a win from him last year.
We've seen some wrecks at Watkins Glen because it's so high speed. I like COTA, but part of me doesn't want to like all the beating and banging, but I do. Like I enjoyed watching them go down into turn one.
What did Jordan Taylor say post-race interview?
Oh yeah, I got it. I mean,
we'll get to it later, but think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the aggression that you see is what it's. But it goes back to that respect, Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain. And
does it go back to the respect, or does it go back to you got to win to get in?
That's what it is. But do you really?
Well, Bowman might get in. He got penalized and he's back top 16.
NASCAR built it like this. NASCAR built stage racing and playoff racing for win and you're in. Win at no cost. Whatever it takes to win. NASCAR built a system to make it that way, where you either win or you go home. You don't win, and you don't get into the playoffs. So,
they created it.
Yeah, this is NASCAR's monster. They created it. And I don't think they necessarily want to stop it, to be honest with you. I think NASCAR is completely happy with what they created. The beating, the banging. I don't think I'm that much against it, to be honest with you, because it makes it exciting.
That's the same reason they throw a caution for debris.
Yeah.
Let's group them back together. Let them beat and bang.
Now they're just a little more open about it. But I think the win and you're in mentality is what's created the lack of respect that you hear Kyle and Denny and all these guys talk about. The old school guys. No offense, they're my age group. But the old guys are the ones.
There's one that's my age group.
Well, he's retiring this year.
Well, maybe
he complains about. He don't like the lack of respect either. But you don't hear Chastain talking about it because that's all Chastain knows. That's all these younger guys know. You hear Chase Elliott talk about it, but that's gentleman.
Well, even Harvick says that's how his son drives.
Yeah, but I don't think you hear Harvick and Kyle. Kyle will tell you, if Brexton drives like that, he gets penalized because that's what they do in other series. You spin somebody out intentionally, you get penalized. Dale Jr. got penalized twice at Florence, South Carolina Speedway.
Yeah, last year.
For spinning people out. So the Cup Series, Truck Xfinity Cup. It was just the Truck Series, but Truck and Xfinity both are pretty rough now. I think Kyle even made comments about riding in the Truck Series about how aggressive these guys were for no apparent reason. Jansen Button said that, like he's running 28th, and the guy at 29th tries to spin him out, just slams into him for 29th. We're not even talking about the lead. We're talking about 29th, back in the back. So
that's what we want, man.
Is it, though?
It's what I want. That's why I like short tracks. That's why I like COTA.
But so, watching Jordan Taylor, because I like Jordan.
I like Jordan too.
I'd watch him on those restarts. He'd come out, the first time he came out on like the sun was shining on him. He came out like 12th. Then the next restart, he came out like 16th.
Didn't he get up to the top 10 a couple times?
Oh, he ran in the top 10 a lot. But then you had the last restart, he got shuffled into the back, and it messed him up. So that's what I'm getting at. Like, that turn one, for me, Jordan Taylor's not used to that aggression. So he wasn't prepared to fight as well as the other guys were when it came to that aggression on restarts. See what I'm saying? So for that reason, I didn't necessarily like it.
Yeah, but if we wanted preppy BS with nice, beautiful, sleek cars, we'd be F1 fans.
So Jordan Taylor said this was the most aggressive racing he has ever done in his career. He said he got hit more yesterday than he has in his whole career combined. Jordan said it was more of a game of survival than actual racing. And Jordan Taylor's probably one of the best IMSA drivers out there, right?
Well, I mean, you and I've gone to the 24-hour Daytona most of my life. You've been the last two. There's not a lot of beating and banging.
But he's got a racecraft.
Yeah, he does.
So he's a good driver, is what it made me think.
Yeah, he is.
So are our guys even drivers anymore?
I think they are. I think what he was saying was, I mean, if you combine what Jensen Button and he said, these guys could put their car where they want it and make it stick. And Jordan Taylor didn't know that he said, I had heard about it, but I didn't really know it until I was doing it. And he said he would have raced differently had he known that was how it was from the very beginning.
Wow, aggressive?
Yeah. Which I think if he puts his mind in the right mindset, he's going to be as good as anyone else.
Well, I think the aggression caught him because, like, Kimmy, it didn't catch off guard because he was here last year. He got to run one of these cars last season, so he knew what to expect. But, I mean, to hear Jordan Taylor say he got hit more yesterday than his entire career combined was kind of eye-opening to me.
It's a whole different...
I didn't realize that other series didn't beat and bang as much as NASCAR does.
Well, look at F1 and Indy. You can't do it in those cars.
Well,
I mean, you kill somebody.
Yeah, your tires touch, you're done.
Yeah. And look at IMSA. I mean, they're a little more rugged. But if you take a close look...
Are too sensitive to touch still. They'll fall apart.
I mean, what was it? 2 years ago at the 24-hour Daytona, we saw the two Porsches on the last lap beating and banging, but we really didn't see it the whole race until that.
I guess, I mean, really, other than short track racing, you don't see it. And even a lot of that short track racing, they'll penalize you for doing it. So,
and on super speedways, I mean, it's aero. You can wreck somebody without touching them if you steal their air.
But you're not trying to wreck. You're not as aggressive, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Beating and banging on a super speedway.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I don't even think they're purposely taking aero away. I think that's their accident. They took aero away, the back end comes out.
I think, like yesterday, I think it's a dog-eat-dog world, right? Like, you're going to...
Well, that's what our win and get in is going to do.
So, like, Jeff Gluck complained about it on his podcast, saying that NASCAR needs to do something. He's like, maybe they do single-file restarts.
No, let's not go back to that.
No, I agree with that. I think Jeff's completely wrong. If they want to penalize drivers for being too aggressive, see, my thing is, if you say yes to that, you're giving NASCAR more input into what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're giving NASCAR more control over the officiating, and they're making more calls the way they see it versus letting it. It's not as black and white.
If you single file restart and there's only one groove, the race is going to be the most boring race under the sun.
Well, he's just talking about at road courses because then he said maybe during stage 3 only single file.
No.
They're still going to dive bomb turn 1 at COTA.
I'm gonna just poop on his parade.
I just don't want more NASCAR involved with the calls. Let them race it out.
I'm not a big Jeff Gluck fan.
I haven't agreed with a lot of the things he said this season, actually. I usually more along the lines agree with Jeff than I do Jordan, but Jordan's made a lot more sense this season.
Maybe Jeff Gluck needs to get off the sauce.
You think he's on the sauce?
No, I didn't say that. Allegedly.
I don't know, man. I don't. I think Jeff just complains a lot here lately. Like, I think he's just...
Well, I love the product on the course yesterday.
I did too. And I was pleasantly surprised because last season the product wasn't as great. But also, I'll be honest, for me, I watched it on Fox yesterday and I listened to it on PRN. I didn't mute it. I turned it down real low.
And that's what I do every
And then
race.
I turned PRN on and listened to it.
MRN and PRN, they're fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's what
They get you more excited than even the race is actually getting you.
But what I realized is Fox doesn't describe what's going on whatsoever on the track anymore. They just talk. And they don't necessarily talk about what's going on the track. They talk about something else. But I watched and then I listened on PRN as they're descriptively describing it. I'm listening to it.
Yeah, they can paint a picture with a Fox booth.
Yeah, but even with me watching it on TV, it didn't diminish from the picture they were painting. Like, it worked still.
Hey, you also get to hear pit stops on MRN and PRN.
No doubt.
You don't get it on the telecast.
So, another thing, I texted Jamie last night and I said, I would love to have, like, when you go to the racetrack, they have the racetrack feed of the race. It's the different cameras showing the race going on, has a little ribbon that has the driver lineup or where they're currently running and how many laps to go. That's it. You could even put little ads on there if you wanted. Have little ads pop up.
Well, that's how they did the Club One, remember?
And then all you do is play PRN or MRN over the background. You can even go to commercial with those guys still. That's commercial dollars you can sell. And then charge fans a monthly subscription for that. I think that would be great.
Hey, if people will pay $4.95 a month for Peacock, they'll pay $4.95 a month for that.
Yeah, and you still have to watch commercials.
Yeah,
Peacock. You're paying for it, and then you got to watch commercials. So why not charge us? The commentary comes from the radio broadcast, which NASCAR and SMI own MRN and PRN. So that's just more money for them.
So I know you listened to it on the radio, but did you watch any of the race with Chase Elliott at home and his headset on?
I saw him.
That was clunky like an old beater, dude. That was just...
I appreciated... So Chase tweeted out. Yes.
Chase knows what he's doing. It just didn't... It hurt the flow.
Well, he tweeted out that he was going to be on the broadcast. And what did we want to hear more of and what we're tired of hearing, so he wouldn't repeat any of that. And I think he took those suggestions because I listened to the first time he was on TV. I listened to that. And then at the end of the race, I watched all the green, white checkers on the TV with the TV broadcast. So I heard Kurt Busch get emotional there during stage 2 at the end.
What about the total win? He was like, first he said, "That's my boy." And then like 10 minutes later, "That's my boy."
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to be. And that's what he said. He goes, "I didn't want to get out of that car how I got out of it. I wanted to be driving that car still, but I'm proud of Tyler." I mean, it was...
I felt bad for old
Kurt.
Kurt.
It pulled at my heartstrings, man, because, like, you could tell he still wanted to be in the car, but he probably don't need to be in the car. No. I think if he could physically get back in the car, he would be in a car right now.
You think?
Yeah.
With his seat gone, do you think 2311 is going to throw in a third car, make him qualify in, or do you think he's going to have to go to
I don't think his health
a back marker team?
I don't think his health will allow him to get back in a car ever again.
I don't think so either.
And I think Kurt's getting older. He's getting smarter. And he understands it doesn't take much more to be a lot worse than it is. So enjoy the blessing you got and take it for what it is and move on. So, at the end of the race, Daniel Sorass was mad. So, he blows down pit road wide open, bumps into his teammate and gets him out of the way, and then he slams in the back of Bowman's car. There were his team members, officials, and other people all over the pit road at this time.
Well, we know what's going to happen.
So, yeah, I think something should, because...
He's going to get a couple race suspensions, just like Bubba did. He deserves it.
How many did Bubba get? 1 or 2?
I don't know, but
whatever Bubba got, he should get.
I think he should get more.
Sorass should get more?
What did Gibbs get for bumping the guy on pit road? 1 race suspension?
I don't remember.
Whatever Gibbs got, I compare it more to Gibbs bumping, was it Austin Dillon? And... while there were pit crews out working on other cars and officials standing there looking at the other cars.
Dude, he
could have killed somebody.
He almost hit an official with the car when he hit Bowman. And then he went and talked to Bowman, and Bowman got somebody's phone and was showing him a replay, and he's like, "Oh, never mind, wasn't even you." Then he goes and gets all pissed off at his teammate And then Ross Chastain, he does an interview, and they're like, "What was that about?" And he goes, "Oh, sore ass is always mad at me." So then he wanted to change his tune a little bit. You're like, well, not always. He backpedaled like,
Now he's like, that's my teammate.
Daddy Justin Marks is probably hearing this interview right now, so I don't want to piss Dad off. So let me back up.
Oh, I think Chastain can piss off Daddy.
I think Daniel Sorass is jealous.
So throw Corey LaJoie in Daniel's car and Daniel in the 7.
See what happens?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
they're both Chevys.
Maybe. I don't think Daniel's a bad driver.
Oh no, I think he's good for 1 win a year.
I think he runs decent usually. I mean, I think Daniel Sorass he's
got a temper problem.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
I think it hurts him in the race, mid-race.
I think that him and Chastain should fight it out. They could do it at the shop. That way they don't get penalized.
I think Sorass gets offended too easily.
Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
People hit each other every day. Or every race, somebody gets into somebody. So for him to throw a temper tantrum, no, NASCAR needs to penalize him. He deserves at least 1 week. I'm good with 2. And a monetary fine.
Oh, yeah.
And a points fine.
They ought to say not paid by the team.
He could have killed somebody.
Or taken their legs off. I mean,
all these drivers know the risk they take. But
when the race is over, it's over. When the race is
over and you're on pit road, you're not expecting to get hit. So he could have severely injured Alex Bowman.
None of this crap should happen under a caution or at the end of the race.
No, period. There's no excuse for what he did. He should be suspended. I'm not calling for him to be kicked out of NASCAR or anything stupid like that, but he deserves a suspension, a penalty, points penalty. I'd just do a driver penalty. I don't know, driver and owner. You know, whatever. Make the owner suffer a little bit too with him. But make him suffer some consequences and maybe he won't do this again. I mean, Kyle Busch parked his car at the entrance of the garage one time because
it wouldn't turn.
It wouldn't turn, and he had already been in trouble for blowing through a cone previously. He learned his lesson from that first penalty, and he didn't do it again the second time. So maybe Daniel needs to be taught a lesson. Bubba Wallace had another bad weekend. He finished 37th after an incident took him out of the race. And Bubba's struggling. He's on the struggle bus. It's been a tough season for him, and I chalk it up to bad luck.
I don't know. He might have been right about himself. Maybe they need to hire a new driver.
So Bubba got out of the car and he said, it's got to be the driver. Maybe they need to hire a new driver.
Yeah.
That's not good, though. When Bubba gets like this in his own head and depressed like, it ain't good. His driving goes down. It don't need to go down. It needs to go up. I think Bubba's a talented driver. But I think when Bubba gets
we can go back to what we said about Suarez.
Well, yeah, but
he loses it too quick.
Yeah, but I think Daniel drives better when he's pissed off. Where Bubba, he drives worse.
Well, he gets too far in his head and can't get out.
That's what I'm saying.
He turns himself inside out.
So somebody needs to snap him out. I mean, Denny needs to have him over to the house or something.
Isn't Kyle Busch's wife is a psychologist, isn't she?
Well, I mean, do you think Bubba's worried at this point? I mean, let's compare them. Bubba and Reddick. Reddick won. Bubba finished 37th.
Wouldn't you be a little pissed if the new guy comes in and wins right away?
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
I mean, it's...
So you got a choice at that point. Up your game or play somewhere else. Right? What other choice do you have?
What better equipment are you going to go get in?
Well, they're not... For a Toyota, they're not getting in better equipment. They got the best.
Yeah. And do you think he's going to find as good of an opportunity in a Chevy or a Ford right now?
No.
He's in the best I think a lot of Bubba's
He's in the best team he's ever been on.
But it's a few weeks of bad luck can happen to any driver. But when you let it mentally beat you down like Bubba does, and it becomes a block. When it becomes that block,
Well, it becomes
an issue. Then it lasts longer.
Fear of failure is what it's called.
Yeah.
So he's so afraid to succeed. He must succeed to the point he fears failing more than succeeding.
It hurts him.
It does.
And I don't like seeing it because I think Bubba takes a lot of crap that he doesn't deserve.
Bubba needs to go to a sports psychiatrist. He really does. He needs to get that nonsense out of his head, get the snakes out, and put in some good thoughts. Maybe do some yoga. I don't know. You would think he would be extra happy. He's on his honeymoon period, man.
Yeah, I know. He just got married.
He should be walking on sunshine.
But he's had basically 4 weeks of bad luck. I mean, everybody expected him to do well at Atlanta because he's a heck of a
Well, look at Kyle Busch.
Driver.
He really hasn't had good luck except for Fontana.
He finished second yesterday.
Yeah, but that's not good luck for him.
Kyle Busch. So we talk about Reddick and Bubba. Bubba's worried. It's obvious. Let's talk about Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon. Obviously, Austin Dillon's probably not as worried as Bubba because his pop owns
I
the team.
think Austin Dillon is proud of his choice for picking Busch. He's been proven correct.
I think I've said it before. I'll say it again. Austin Dillon will make a phenomenal team owner. He will probably be a Hall of Fame team owner, in my opinion.
He's also a 1-win-a-year guy.
Yeah. And
I mean, that's great for a team. 1 win is great. I mean, he's won the big one.
Like we've said before, though, Austin should probably be replaced with the next Kyle Busch. Who's going to replace Kyle Busch is who needs to be in Austin's car right now.
I think the next Kyle Busch just went over to 2311.
I told my son last night after Tyler won the race, I said, Tyler Reddick is going to break a lot of records.
He's going to win a championship in the next 3 years is my prediction.
Oh, yeah. I get behind that. I think Tyler Reddick could win a championship his first year at 2311.
Nope.
Easily. Tyler Reddick is probably the most talented driver in his age group on the track. Out of all the new... Actually, I hate to even say that because I think we have a huge group of young drivers in the sport right now. The sport's very healthy on talent. You got... I mean, Hendricks is full of them.
Well, I hope to say the same thing about Noah Gragson in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson, I wouldn't expect a whole lot out of this season. I would, honestly, the less you hear, probably the better. But, we say that, but heck, I think Denny Hamlin won his rookie year, so why wouldn't we expect Ty Gibbs or Noah to win their rookie year?
I can see Ty grabbing one.
I would be curious to see how both Noah and Ty do second half of the season.
I think Noah's got a bit of a handicap. I think Jimmy Johnson's going to straighten the team out, but I think Noah's not in a top-tier team race car.
No, it'll take a few years before it gets there. So,
and maybe they can grow it the way Colic has.
We've already talked about LaJoie and Ty Dillon. We know LaJoie definitely outdrives his equipment every week.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. So and it's becoming more apparent this year.
Yeah, LaJoie's out. Ty Dillon is driving the equipment to the equipment's ability because the equipment's ability is probably better than his ability. But Corey is at least finishing 10 to 15 spots better than
Ty's got to be in the same mental state as Bubba.
I mean,
LaJoie's getting top 10s, top 5s.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not easy for Ty either. Pop gives everything to Austin, but Ty gets, what, Spire's 777 car?
Free cars from Pop, maybe?
And a lot of them probably, because and there's a lack of parts, so unfortunately Pop has to take care of Austin and Kyle first to keep his sponsors happy. Then he can take care of little Ty, but Ty has to be thinking, like, what am I going to do? He's not in a top tier
He's got to be thinking, Pop, don't throw my truck away out of the museum, please. I know it's right near the bathrooms, but please.
Don't kick me out of the museum.
Yeah,
please, Pop.
I won that race, Pop.
So NASCAR has not confirmed that they will be returning to COTA in 2024. What is your opinion, Jamie?
Well,
do you think we should come back to COTA in 2024?
I thought last year's race was good, but only at the end. I was entertained every lap this year. So, I mean, I'm expecting the same next year. I think do you want to go to Texas twice a year? They don't deserve two races.
They don't deserve one race.
They don't. They really don't.
It's just business. I mean, the track sucks.
So let's let them know it's just business. I mean, they can improve the track. I know they just thought they improved it. Didn't, though. So if you're Marcus Smith, do you throw more money at the problem, or do you go to a different track that'll be more competitive?
Well, you're renting out COTA, basically. So I think you go back to COTA next year. Yes. So if you don't go, do we go to another road course? Or do we do a second street course in New York City? I think we do COTA. We at least need to come back to COTA one more time. Because, if not more, I think COTA, we need to be in Texas. So why not just go to Austin, Texas and run COTA, sell the property that Texas Motor Speedway is on, make the money off of it.
Turn it into an Amazon distribution center.
There you go. Or I don't want to say repave it, because I think if they do, they're going to reconfigure it like Atlanta. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to reconfigure Texas like Atlanta.
I think they ought to do something different.
I don't hate that idea, but
I think they ought to make it a short track.
You're saying tear it down and start over?
No, I'm saying tear half of it down. Tear half of it down.
Make it a D shape with two hard hairpins?
No, let's make it a harder Darlington. Let's make it a tight egg where turns 1 and 2 remain. 3 and 4 are a hard turn. Like there's no middle of like one of those, like a triangle turn. One of those triangle turns up in Pennsylvania.
Just sharper.
Yeah, real sharp, hard turn. Let's make it 2 different halves of a track.
What if we make it a Martinsville paperclip shape, but 2.5 miles long?
So let's go flat turns 3 and 4 and keep
Bristol banked in its turns 1 and 2, banked like Bristol,
and then
Martinsville in 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be downshifting for 3 and 4
with a mile long back straightaway and front straightaway. Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, that'd be crazy. The drafting they would do, you would have drafting at a short track, basically. Wouldn't be a short track.
But you would have downshifting going into the tight 3 and 4 turn.
Yeah, nothing in 1 and 2, you'd run wide open.
Yeah, you're gonna go wide open in 1 and 2.
I'm talking about like
front stretch, back stretch, hit 220, and then have to downshift.
35 degrees of banking.
Yeah,
45 degrees of banking.
Have to get down to 120 to take the corner.
Like 80 degrees of banking.
Yeah. And then it'd be perfect because that'll be your slow corner.
Like those board tracks used to be.
Yeah. You'll be slow going into the flat turns 1 and 2, and that'll be your entry into pit road.
You mean 3 and 4?
Yeah, 3 and 4. That'd be your entry.
Yeah, and then you would exit pit road.
But then you'd have to.
You just stay on the bottom.
Yeah, you'd have
stay out of the way.
Yeah, because they're doing 220 and you're doing.
I like that idea. So there we go. We fixed it. But yes, back to the question: should we go to COTA? 100%. We should go back.
Yeah, we should go back.
And we should not have cautions because I didn't like the stage breaks. Without the stage breaks, it's pretty darn.
Let's get rid of stage breaks at all road tracks. We are actually.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. I think like NASCAR finally.
If we were going to be staying in Richmond, Virginia for the race this weekend, Jamie, where would we not want to stay at?
Well, I think our old friend KB would agree. The more and more I look into Richmond, and this is what, the third time?
No. Yes.
Yeah. Richmond's a dump.
Oh, yeah. Virginia, the area?
Yeah. Richmond, Virginia is just a flat out. I mean, it's a sewer.
Yeah, we've been through there.
Yeah.
I've never stayed. I don't think I've ever stayed in a hotel in Richmond. Maybe I did one night.
That's good. I wouldn't want to stay at a hotel in Richmond.
I stayed at a nice one because we rode the elevator with Alan Bestwick the next morning to go before the race.
Well, I stayed at the Marriott downtown. That was nice, but
that might have been where we stayed at.
Actually, before we start this, I would like to mention the Marriott I stayed at in Augusta.
I tweeted a picture.
Bloodstain on the sheets.
Day one.
Smelled like mildew. Room 1107, top floor.
Did you complain?
You know what? I am going to send the general manager a direct email with pictures. When I opened up my big picture window overlooking the other Marriott and the river, I realized I had a leak in the roof. I'm on the top floor, and the paint had bubbled on the window frame.
Mm.
And there was some mold. I realized why it was hot and humid. I had to run the air conditioning down to 63 to be comfortable in my room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you bring your sleeping bag?
I did not. I ended up in the other bed where there was no blood, but guess what I'm bringing on every trip from here on out?
I don't blame you.
A sleeping bag.
Or any one of them bag condom things we reviewed over the off season.
I'm a member of the Bonvoy Marriott Rewards Club.
Yeah, you should. I like the idea of reaching out. I mean,
I vacation for free because of my rewards card with Marriott.
Yeah, instead of blasting them on Google reviews, and we'll do it on here.
Yeah, it'll only get our 1,000 listeners, and
and then he'll just have to.
You can turn it into a little teeny short, get a couple thousand.
Yeah,
but anyway. You need to read maybe I should pop the review up, though. We talk about how important they are.
Yeah, I think you should. You definitely should review it because we read reviews and we know we're not to stay because of those reviews.
And we need to help our listeners.
Yeah.
You would at least know to stay out of room 1107.
Yeah, if you're in Augusta at the Marriott, room 1107, there's a
hole in the roof, and there was.
Yeah, and your roof's leaking.
I mean, compared to some of these things, the blood was the size of a dime.
I tweeted a picture of it.
And I checked myself to see if I was bleeding somewhere, but I'm working a convention. I mean, paper cut would probably be the worst thing I could get. I didn't find any blood. And I was wearing white pajamas. I should have found some blood.
That would, ooh.
Yeah, it was gross.
All right.
But anyway, Blue Belter, he wrote this review on TripAdvisor.
At the Roadway Inn.
The Roadway Inn, and we know. He's from Tranent, United Kingdom. He's a Britisher.
Nice.
Could be a cousin of ours, 100th cousin or something.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure there's a...
I don't know where Tranent is.
If we try hard enough, I bet we could find a connection.
Well, I know your ancestor was King of London.
Mayor. And sheriff.
Well, that's the same thing, isn't it, in London?
I don't remember if he was the sheriff.
We don't have royalty in America.
Or if he was the mayor, then the sheriff. But
he was a lord.
Lord Carden.
Yeah.
I mean, I go by Lord Carden.
Yeah.
So
I don't have any lords in my family. I mean, my ancestor was friends with William Penn. He was a survey for him in the colonies.
That's the guy who invented the pen?
Yes. William the Penn. The ballpoint ink pen. He killed the quill.
William Ballpoint Pen.
He got rid of the quill.
Thank God.
But we're a little north. We're from Nottingham.
Oh, yeah. You remember
Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
Robin Hood land.
Yeah.
We're probably his blacksmith. We shoot his horses.
Shoot them?
Shoed. Horseshoes.
So why would you kill a horse?
Well, my ancestors made horseshoes.
Why would a blacksmith kill horses?
Well,
But I'm with you. You didn't shoot them. You shoot them.
We were farriers.
That's
how I got the last name. A farrier shoes horses.
Country people can't say that. Don't shoot them. Don't shoot them.
Nottinghamshire is still the backwoods, I think.
So he said he shoot him.
I don't think they could read.
Who shoot him?
I mean, they're farriers, and they misspelled our last name when they came to the colonies.
Uncle James, shoot him.
Actually, that was my ancestor.
Shoot him, James, shoot him.
There's about 100 of us named after the first...
When you're standing there with your gun.
Colonialist.
Standing there with your...
Is that a word? Colonialist?
Colonialist?
It's colonial.
Colonialist.
Colonialist?
Yeah.
Is that what they were? When they were under King George? Or was that felonious?
Would it be Colonia and cans?
No, we weren't cans. We were from the colony. Yeah.
Colonial cans.
Colonial cans.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that mean you're half Canadian?
Well, it's American.
Canada?
Americans. Why not colonial cans?
I wonder why Canadians don't have cans. Wouldn't they be cans?
Be Canadian.
Canada cans.
Plus Egyptian, so it'd be Colonicians.
Sure, I'll go with that.
Colonicians.
Colonicians.
All right, so if you're a Colonician, you can stay at the Roadway Inn for a 50% discount only tonight.
So this Britisher.
Oh, that's how we got on British.
Yeah, because it's Blue Belter.
Trying to figure out
That's
how
his
we went down
name.
that rabbit hole.
On checking in, we were met by an Asian gentleman. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't say that. Who seemed disinterested at best. No welcome was forthcoming. Oh, he's King James here, isn't he?
He's
like
serious.
King James Bible?
Yeah, he's definitely
Chris,
James,
check
man.
that out for us, Chris. I think he's King James
forthcoming.
Yeah, he's forthcoming. He demanded ID, and we handed over our British. He spelled license wrong. You think that's how they spell it in Britannia?
Dude, I always spell license wrong, so I'm not going to
I think there's an S in there, but maybe not in
Don't ask me. I misspell that word until Siri corrects.
not in the king's language. You know, you got to say king now because we have a king instead of a queen. It used to be the queen's language. Now it's the king's language.
So as they changed the song, God Save the King?
Yeah. So this guy puzzled over it for a while, then threw it back on the counter and said, "It was no good."
No good for you.
We inquired why. He demanded photograph. We explained that the older type licenses didn't have photos on them, and he replied, I don't care. I asked why a photograph was necessary, and he threw his arms out shouting, how do I know who you are? I questioned his attitude and demeanor.
When the heck did this guy stay there in, like, 1862?
This dude, yeah.
When
He
did
probably
they-
went to Oxford.
When did they not have ID photos on IDs? That's
I've never seen a British ID, have you?
but I've never seen an ID without a photo.
My kid's learning permit didn't have his photo. Well, the first one was paper and didn't have it, and then they
mail you
Mailed it.
one like 3 days later, though. Yeah, but
Maybe that's because of English tradition
maybe.
and constitutional law.
Maybe.
I don't know why I threw that in.
Who knows?
Maybe I should have been a lawyer.
Maybe you should have been British.
Well, I'm descended from them.
I know, but maybe you should move back. Then you could find
Why
out
do you
these
have to
questions.
pull demeanor out of his pie hole?
Where you see demeanor at?
Right there, demeanor.
Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah.
Or is it demeanor? Demeanor.
It's D, mean,
It's 3 syllables.
hour.
He's a smart kid.
Maybe it's demean hour.
Or she.
It know you are hour.
Or is it debonair?
That's
Without a
hour.
B.
Look. D,
D-hour?
mean, hour.
Oh, so this is why the Asian dude was losing his shit? Because
Yeah.
it was a demean hour.
It was his demean hour.
Uh-huh.
And it was obvious he didn't care.
Well, I questioned his attitude in demean hour. Well, maybe you shouldn't question the demean hour. You should have come in an hour later. It was obvious he didn't care one little bit. Yeah, you should have figured that out when he started yelling at you, dude.
Yeah. I knew he didn't care in the very beginning.
As we would have been charged anyway. I was all for walking back out of this place. My wife persuaded me to stay. It's her fault.
Yep.
The gentleman offered no information regarding the hotel about the facilities. Why are you calling him a gentleman? You just said he wasn't.
Because he's British.
Breakfast, pool use, ice machines, etc. We expected too much out of these things. Entering our room, we discovered that the sink had been held up by a car jack. That is awesome, dude. Wow. A bit of wood with a tube of sealant adjacent, which I don't know. Is that what was helping the car
Maybe.
jack?
Maybe, because I'm confused too.
My wife immediately went and complained at how dangerous this was, and he reluctantly changed our room. The hotel was, as expected, a no-frills establishment.
Yeah.
On our last day, 3-night stay, my wife decided to make use of the pool facility and asked at reception about towels for the pool. She said it stunk of curry and was so overwhelming. The same gentleman proceeded to give her the third degree, i.e., where are you staying? Who are you? What room are you in? Etc., before handing over a small towel that at best had seen better days. Overall, I would not recommend this hotel to anyone based on our experience. Whoever the Asian gentleman was, he needs to change his arrogant, abrasive attitude immediately and stop treating the customers like dirt. Having seen other reviews of this place, it is obvious that we're not alone in this thinking.
Yeah, but that's just America. Period.
He kind of went like un-English there for a while, like he was really American. Did you see
Well,
that?
no, I mean, I'm talking about crappy customer service. That's just...
I think he's faking being British.
Yeah, but I don't think that.
I think he thinks he's British.
I think that...
What do they call those people? Anglophiles.
Yeah. I just think his problem is that...
Why does he hate Asian people so much?
Well, it's not even that. He's just not used to how American customer service works nowadays. Since 2020, we have lost all customer service in this country.
Yeah.
So...
Except they still say my pleasure at Chick-fil-A. Even though they screw up your order.
Yeah, they're not happy about it now.
No, now they're just pissed about having to say it. So, that's worrisome.
Where are we going next?
The Mossad House Hotel.
Oh, yeah, I would not.
Well, that is like the CIA of Israel, dude.
Staying at the Mossad House, period.
Yeah, that's messed up, dude.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
The Mossad's going to kill you. That is like the Israeli...
They're like crazy badasses doing that Croc McGraw, killing you with paper cuts and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they'll throw a ninja star out a 3-story window.
Oh, they'll do a satchel bomb into a crowd of Palestinians.
They have no remorse. Just do what they got to do. They handle their business and move on with life.
Yeah, they just blow shit up.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it.
So.
Well, they say this is the worst hotel ever. Well, duh.
Yeah.
That's probably where they waterboard people in Richmond. Probably. The Mossad Hotel.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, if I was ISIS, I might start looking for this place. Not for real, people.
We need to rent our room.
Bad joke.
All right.
What is in your pen or van? Oh, just fertilizer. Do not worry about it.
You don't want my fertilizer.
Why are there wires coming out of your bags of fertilizer?
Why is your bag ticking?
I don't know. But don't use your cell phone.
That reminds me of that skit from Jackass where they cut all their pubes off and they tape them to that dude's face.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron's face. They tape all their pubes to make him look like a terrorist guy. And they put him in the back of the cab. And the cab driver's in on it. And he's like, bomb. Did I say bomb? Boom. Going through here. Boom. And then he's freaking out when the cab driver puts him in the trunk. Oh, man. I love that skit. All right, go ahead with your review.
So it's the worst hotel ever. It's a dump. This is the worst hotel in the world. And they have no hot water. And they also have roaches. The hotel also has a permanent smoke smell. The bathroom is so small when you use the toilet, you have to put your legs in the tub to use it. That's awesome. They smacked their head on that. The spare chair in the room was filthy. The window wouldn't stay open without a stick that I was provided with by a staff member. I wouldn't recommend the hotel to anybody. Rate this hotel at -4 stars for real.
Well, I mean...
He didn't bitch about the 0 thing. I'm kind of giving him credit for slipping in the -4.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Without falling into the 0-star trap. I mean, you can't give it negative either, but at least he had style.
And he pooped in a toilet with his legs in a tub. I don't know if I'd do that.
You wash your feet and take a crap.
So we're going to the Richmond Magnuson Grand Hotel.
Magnuson.
Okay.
We can go there too. I'm going to the Magnuson first.
I'm telling you right now, I did not get my college degree in English.
Yeah.
So it could be, whatever.
I went to art school first.
Magnuson.
Then I got a degree in sales and marketing. So
Magnuson.
None of those degrees include being able to read long words.
So
Magnuson.
This guy is Glenn Allen from Virginia.
Sounds like a country music artist.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, give it up for Glenn Allen.
And this TripAdvisor, he gives it 5 out of 5. I mean, I've never seen a Magnuson. It's the Grand Hotel.
Yep, it's the Grand Magnuson.
You know, when you throw Grand or Palace in there, you're screwed.
Yep, it's kind of like Sweet.
So he says, best hotel ever. That's right, folks. It rich. I mean, it's a freaking hotel, not a motel. Upon arriving in the lobby, I was informed to not worry about the heat and humidity. They were a green hotel and were saving the environment. And my sweating through my suit before my big job interview was normal. And just mentioned that at the interview and I'd get the job. They gave me a key to the 6th floor room and pointed me to the elevator. They informed me that I had to hold the button down until I reached my floor and would return to the 1st floor. On the name of Mother Earth, I was so happy that Greta von Stenberg thingy would approve. I noticed that the elevator only went to the 5th floor. And I asked the lady at the front desk, is there really a 6th floor? She had assured me that this was no mistake and that Al Gore had consulted the hotel and people not only needed to exercise, but saving the environment was more important than an elevator going 6 floors. I stated that the 5th floor button was missing and she said, no, it's in there. Just stick your finger deep in the hole and you'll feel it. You just can't see it. I apologize for being such a country bumpkin. She said it was okay. I finally made it up the stairs between the 5th and 6th floor, found my room and entered. Upon entering the room, I discovered a cockroach and a bedbug exercising their Second Amendment rights. I was a little confused after watching them and realized they were pointing their pistols at each other. I joined in with my Glock. Well, at least he's armed.
Yeah.
I thought it might be a Mexican standoff situation. I didn't want to be left out or caught off guard. The cockroach said he recognized me from the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. This is a good one. We all laughed and lowered our guns. I said, do you guys mind if we hold hands and ask the Donald to be with us? The bedbug laughed and smiled, and we're all good Christians here. Let's do it. As we are praying to the Donald, some crazy-eyed dude was running down the hallway naked with nothing but a laptop and a burning crack pipe screaming, Daddy said, Daddy said, Daddy said. Was that more like, Daddy said, Daddy said, Daddy? He was smiling like, it's me, Punter. What? Oh, I got it. Not Hunter, but Punter.
Yeah.
And he threw the computer at us. We looked at the screen and there was a TikTok video playing giving instructions on how to hide cash payments from the Chinese government. Roach and I need to do this, to send this to Little D. He can tell Big D to grab this by the hoo-ha and spin it around.
Said pull the trigger.
I said pull the trigger, let's do it. Little D was called and he said he was done with this nonsense. Big D was pissed and told him that he now identifies Little D as an abortion and abortions are now illegal and he wants nothing to do with Little D anymore. I'm not sure where this guy stands politically.
Yeah, you're not?
No, he's pretty independent maybe.
Probably in the middle.
He's ragging on everybody. I said, guys, let's stop arguing. Can't we all just get along? Only the Donald can save us. What's worse, guys, insanity or Alzheimer's? We all know it's Donald, money, family, and country. A prostitute popped her head into my room and said, you men are stupid. Take it from a professional who's always getting screwed. We are getting screwed. All of us. I just get paid for it. Politicians can do the screwing. Politicians are the pimps. We pay them, then we get screwed. It's not if you're a donkey or an elephant, a little D or big D. That sounds kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Little D, big D. A punter or a regular Joe. If one claims to be religious or one claims to be Jesus, they all visited Epstein Island. It's kind of like just completely cracked out, dude.
I don't even know where he's talking about.
He's bouncing all over the place. I got the job and returned to the Magnuson after my interview and thanked my new friends. It didn't matter that a syringe in the parking lot punctured my tire. It didn't matter that there were cars set ablaze in the parking lot or that homeless people were begging for cigarettes. I learned more about life from a hooker, a roach, and a bedbug than all 5 years of college. This hotel taught me that everyone sucks, but don't let it bring you down. Jesus doesn't appear as an angry redhead dictator or a senile old man pooping his pants.
Well, that's good.
Our Constitution is just a piece of paper with a line drawn down the middle with the right side and left side. On both sides are rats chewing that piece of paper, and they have both eaten almost all of it. If we don't fix this hotel, we might as well embrace the suck. We allow it, and we are to blame. 5 stars. Huh.
So that guy had a lot of political things that obviously were bothering him, and he took it out on his Google review.
I have a feeling he got high and really talked to a roach and a bedbug.
Yeah, he was a punter.
And maybe a hooker.
He was probably hanging out with his friend Punter.
Yeah, punter, not punter.
Yeah, Punter.
Yeah.
Punter.
Maybe Punter was showing him how...
Punter Sidon?
Yeah, Punter Sidon was showing him how to get paid by the Chinese. I believe that part.
Punter Sidon was saying, hey, would you like to try some of my crack crying? He's like, yeah, sure. You seen this roach over here,
Punter
dude?
was probably using that hooker. They should have investigated more videos on TikTok.
That was probably cousin.
Yeah.
Sidon.
Wow. That was just... That went all over the place.
Give me some normalcy. Where are we going next?
Well, this is Petersburg, which is just the next town south of Richmond.
Oh, yo!
Oh, yo. I went back to an oldie but goodie.
Oh, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo.
So, Christina B. wrote...
Christina Beaver.
Yep. She's from Westchester, New York, which, you know, is a very wealthy town.
Yeah, it's on the west side of Chester.
Yeah. Not the molester, just Chester.
Yeah, just regular.
Yeah, not Epstein Island.
No. Did you know that Jeffrey Epstein is not related to the Beatles' old manager, Brian Epstein?
I thought they were one and the same.
No, no relation whatsoever.
I would probably say that too. Can you believe him? He killed Paul.
He knew about it.
So, Christina B. wrote, for Oh Yo, my daughter canceled her reservation. That's the title. Okay. I can't even rate this place. It's so disgusting. So I want to start by saying this is the worst place ever. This is a third-person review. That's weird. My daughter drove from New York to Virginia. It was on a 3-way call with her and her military fiancé. She arrived at 12 a.m. and the person at the front desk was not helpful. She stated she made the reservation and she said that he didn't even know what room that was her boyfriend reserved online. We advised my daughter to stay calm. He gave her the key to room 235. When she went around in her car looking for the room, as she parked, 4 big guys were walking into the room. She said maybe she confused the room number. So she then tried 135. Guess what? The room was occupied. She went back to the manager and told him, and he laughed. She said, nowhere is my... No. She said, no. Where's my room? Oh. They needed a comma there, I think.
Yeah.
He said, I have another room. She stated, I don't feel safe. Walk me to my room. He takes her back to her room. As she gets ready to leave, she said, hold up, where's the key? And he stated that he couldn't give her a key to that room until the morning. She was so pissed, her fiancé hung up and called a hotel. Called her back and told her to leave. I asked her to take pictures, but she was so pissed and tired from the drive she left. I don't recommend this place to anyone. My daughter said it looked like a sex trafficking place. Scary.
What's the sex trafficking place look like?
I don't know. I guess her mom knows. Isn't that weird? I don't think my mom knows.
She said her daughter says it looks like a sex trafficking place. I don't think my
mom knows what a sex trafficking place
I think you should.
That's what I got for you.
I think you should do a little better on your grammar there, ma'am.
Me?
Not you.
I was reading as they wrote it.
I said ma'am. Ma'am wrote it for her daughter. She should do better. It was hard to follow her review because of the back. Because you said nowhere is my. It was no. Where is my room? But it read as nowhere is my room. Like, where's nowhere? What room number is nowhere?
Well, I tried real hard not to, get a drug story or a prostitute hooker story. It's kind of difficult.
Well, as you know, we're reading Richmond hotel reviews because we are going to Richmond Raceway.
Oh, boy. I'm so excited.
It's called the action track.
For what?
For the lack of action.
Oh. That makes total sense.
If it doesn't have action, you can't call it the action track. So
Action Jackson.
Going to Richmond, the race will be at 3:30. It's going to be on FS1 this week. We'll be on MRN radio. The track is a 3/4 mile high-speed short track. Out of the last 4 races there, Denny Hamlin has 1 win with an average finish of 2.3. Christopher Bell has an average finish of 3.8. Martin Truex Jr. has 1 win with an average finish of 4.3. Joey Logano has an average finish of 7.8. Kevin Harvick has 1 win and an average finish of 8.8. Kyle Busch also has an average finish of 8.8, with Ryan Blaney having an average finish of 9.5. William Byron is 10.0. Alex Bowman's average finish is 10.3. Kyle Larson's is 10.8. Ross Chastain's average finish is 14.89, and our most recent winner from COTA, Tyler Reddick's average finish here is 19.5. Now that's after only out of the last 4 races, so 2021 and 2022 seasons. Last year's winner, the first year in the next-gen car, Denny Hamlin won the spring race here, and Kevin Harvick won the fall race. Last week in fantasy picks, I had Kyle Busch.
I'm sorry.
What?
He came in second.
Yeah. Ross Chastain and Kyle Larson. You had Blaney, Gregson, and Harvick.
So I had some dogs.
I got 2 points for Busch, 4 points for Larson, Chastain, and 14 points for Larson for a total of 20 points. Jamie, you had 21 points for Blaney, 20 points for Gregson, 13 points for Harvick for a total of 54 points. I won last week because, as you remember, the lower the number, the better for the way we're doing our points this year. So I had 20. Jamie had 54. Jamie, you'll pick first this week. Overall, I have 282 points, and you have 302 points. So it's a 20-point difference.
You folded my thing up. I can't find it now. Let's see. Where are we going here?
Richmond.
Richmond. I'm going Tyler Reddick, man.
All right.
Next pack, I'm going Kevin Harvick.
All right.
I think this is Kevin Harvick's track, dude. Brad Keselowski. It's time for him to win.
All right, so you got Reddick,
Harvick, and
Keselowski. I'm going to go with Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and oh man, this last one's hard out of this last pack, huh? Who'd you go with?
Went with, wasn't Keselowski down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. Probably going to regret that, huh?
I think he ran out of talent after about third race this year.
Well,
Maybe he needs to go back to the 21.
It was between him and Joey. But I'll stick with Blaney. I'll go with Blaney. I'll go Bush out of the first group, Hamlin out of the second group, Blaney out of the third group. That'll work. Sounds good to me.
Might want to record this sucker and just listen to it on the radio.
I usually do.
That's what I'm going to do. There's no way I'm going to... I hope I get excited and watch the whole race.
I'll watch it again like I did this week, and play it on the radio. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to MRN this week. PRN last week, MRN this week. So, that's all I got this week.
They do. Else? They both have an app on the Apple Store.
Well, I listen to it. The NASCAR app provides it for free.
Oh, well, their apps do too. So I didn't know NASCAR did.
Yeah, I go to the NASCAR app and hit the scanner button, and MRN or PRN is on there every week. So.
I did not know that. And
it's actually ahead of my TV, but the Sirius XM broadcast was behind my TV, so I never had any of them lined up perfectly. I guess I could have paused my TV until the Sirius caught up, huh?
Could have.
But I never thought of that until just now.
Who cares? Exercise that brain, dude.
All right, that's all I got this week. You got anything else?
No, but I was just wondering here.
Well, wonder here. This is the point of the show where you get to wonder.
That Magnuson Hotel?
Magnuson.
I wonder if it's a real review or just a parable.
You think Magnuson, isn't that the guy from F1?
Yeah. Do you think he's the one that wrote the review and it's a parable?
I think he owns the hotel.
Do you think maybe it's a criticism of American politics?
Oh, there's no doubt. That's 100% what it... He took out his political frustrations on his Google review.
Wow.
Is the Magnuson Hotel even a real hotel?
It is. I did verify that.
So he just probably goes around posting random places his political views. That's my thought.
All right. Do you want to go stay at the Magnuson?
No, I don't.
No,
I wouldn't stay at any... Well, I can't say wouldn't, but I would prefer not to stay at most of the hotels we review.
Well, we did make a mistake at Motel 6, and it was exactly what we expected.
Yep. We learned our lesson. Well,
but the other two hotels were better than we expected.
Let's try an 8.
Super duper 8 or just a hotel 8?
Either.
How about a budget 6? Combine the two.
No, it sounds really bad. You're catching something there. All right. Thanks to everyone who listens to the show, who watches it, shares us on social media. However you share us, just keep sharing us. This is all recorded. The video will be up on YouTube as well as the audio on your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Check out our videos. Check out our other podcasts that we got.
Yeah,
Conspiracy Juice Bar.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on in this world, dude.
Yeah, we even talked about the Beatles this week.
The Beatles whack me out, man.
Check us out on Spotify. Rate us there. iHeartRadio. Rate us there. Apple. Leave us a review there.
Now you can watch us on YouTube TV. Not TV.
YouTube.
Our channel on YouTube.
Send us a DM or email us at racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com.
Brad will respond.
Yeah, and I'll answer any questions you have. Read it on the show. He has the password. He just don't log
I don't think I have it.
I logged you in, and then you're
Brad
out.
Keeps telling me, well, no, I had to log out to go to my other my personal Gmail, but Brad keeps calling me, did you read this email? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have the password. Make sure you check out our new merch store and our website. It's racecarbackwards.com. Other than that, that's all I got this week. Y'all have a great week. Hey, DM us and we're going to have a t-shirt giveaway. Yeah, and DM us and Jamie's going to have a t-shirt giveaway. Yeah. So if you're the only one, you win. If you're the only one listening at this point in the show, we'll still put you in a bowl with your name and a piece of paper. We're going to draw it anyway. Sounds like a plan. All right, y'all have a good week. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Peace. You just listened to Race Car spelled backwards. For that, we thank you.